Yeah. Joined by Rob Palmer, obviously. This week we're gonna, I suppose, defend the value of statistics and analytics, but kind of in a moderate way. We're not gonna go overboard rather. There is value to them. They're very, very useful. But since Rodgers has been dismissed, I would say that's kind of the benchmark for time-wise. There's been a lot of pieces, kind of people who've clearly been waiting for a chance to have a pop at the numbers that are coming into football, say it only suits American sports, etc., etc. We're basically just going to go through, I suppose, a few examples and stuff like that, and just talk about the use of stats without going overboard. Obviously, you don't want to be relying totally on numbers. So, Palmer, you obviously feel strongly about this issue.
Yeah, like I think something we were talking about before we got going was it's like you said, that it's important to mix traditional methods and the new age statistics together to get like sort of the thing. Like obviously you can't run a club other than Michelin, which is just bizarre, on pure numbers, pure maths. Like you can't do it that way. But the thing you were telling me before, which I didn't know, was when in the numbers game, when Mancini was still at City, they were talking about like in swinging corners and stuff like this. One of the statistics people came up to him and said, we should try to do in swinging corners because they're statistically more likely to give us a goal. And Mancini just turned around and said, "No, we'll do out swinger corners. They're better." And then it was just like, no. It's like we've done numbers and studies and everything.
This is a really good way to introduce it, actually. That example works perfectly as an introduction because it shows that human eye and the human brain is prone to bias, particularly memory bias, particularly vision-based bias. These types of things will affect how you see different types of people, different actions. You know, you'll remember good stuff or remember bad stuff really prominently without filtering it through your brain. For example, in the numbers game, they also investigate the claim that you're always more prone to concede goals immediately after scoring. I mean, we hear it every single time. It's not true. You are more likely to concede a goal if you score early to concede one really late in the game than you are to concede in, I think they measured between the 5, 10 and 15 minutes. And they were really small numbers.
Yeah.
But that's something that we would accept as a tenant. I completely... Reading the numbers game... This is basically an advertisement for this book, but this
Great
is what it
book,
is.
get it.
The numbers game, people talk about stockonomics, but the numbers game is a really, really good one for analytics. If you like graphs, pie charts and stuff like that, it's just... whoa. But,
engineering students' dream.
But it basically challenges... Almost every chapter challenges something that you hold to be true about football. And we would probably consider ourselves to be very kind of open-minded. You know, you can have other influences, let other things in. Some chapters would go, no.
Yeah,
you know, and then you would see the numbers and go, oh, okay. And one of the challenges against people who are in the game, analysts and the likes of nerds and geeks, as they're called by people in football.
I'll put that in a better way for you. By idiots.
By idiots. Who, who break out in a rash if they're asked to do averages or whatever. But they're basically saying, oh, they've never played the game. But that's precisely the point. You don't want someone to sit in your analytics department who thinks they know about the game because they're infected by memory and vision-based bias. Yeah. You want them to just look at numbers. That's all you want them to do. So you can isolate things that you could change. You know, like keeping the ball. Does keeping the ball win you more games? Do you know what I mean? Is it better to win 1-0? Is it better to go for a second? You can measure all of these things. How many times you can see chasing a second? All these things are measurable. You bring them in, and then what's called the wisdom of crowds, right? This is basically what I think the transfer committee is meant to be. But in England, it would happen in Ireland, to be honest, so this isn't an anti-English thing. It's just not accepted because it's new and the gaffer should be all controlling.
Yeah.
And, you know, a nation who's never had a dictator just loves dictators. Yeah. You know what I mean? They really do. But
seems like such a good concept from the outside.
Yeah, they used it at Lyon.
Yeah.
Where the coach was basically just a coach. And this is done long before we would have been talking about even the likes of Michelin, long before this. And the wisdom of crowds basically gets as many people to have an opinion within reason. You know, so the physio, there'd be a guy who's in charge of marketing. Aulis, the chairman, would sit in, and they'd all be able to talk it through. And that way then you get the best of it. It's not just one guy going, I know I'm right. Because then what happens is, even when you're proven wrong, you'll just stick by your gun so you don't look weak. Or, you know, this type of thing.
Yeah,
so.
Tim Sherwood-esque, really.
Yeah. So, like, there's a value to it. Like, because I read some seriously nonsense pieces. Moxley is the worst. Daily Mirror. I think it came out Sunday morning or Saturday night. And basically, it's just a chance to have a pop at geeks in tracksuits. This is basically what he calls...
It's like, you wouldn't mind... Like, so I don't mind the variety of articles about statistics as long as they're backed up with, like, some form of opinion or some form of logic, I guess. Like, saying, the new wave of statistics is bad because, like, and then give a legitimate reason for it. You know what I mean? That's fine. Because it's an opinion, obviously. But when you come out with the guff that this dope has written in the Mirror, it's just, it's bordering on, it's pathetic, really, to be honest.
He makes the point, like, and... I will have gone through this in the pod intro by the time that you are watching this video because it's upload. But he basically makes the point that all of the statistics and analytics in the world couldn't stop Emre Can from booting the ball off his fellow defender, allowing Lukaku to equalise in the Merseyside derby. That's a fundamental misunderstanding of what stats would tell you. You don't just hand a sheet to Emre Can and go, don't worry, the geeks have worked out every step you should take for 90 minutes. It's not how it works.
The whole idea of the statistics thing is that you go through the statistics with the players, and then hopefully, if the players absorb the information correctly, the problem which led to Emre Can being so flustered in his own box and kicking the ball off Lukaku for the ball to go in wouldn't happen because it would have been phased. The mistake would have been phased out theoretically, but obviously
also dealing with pressure situations is something that's done on the training field by the coach.
Yeah.
You won't learn that from maths. You know what I mean? These are completely different things.
Yeah.
Like it's just
where the combination of having statistics and having the traditional ways comes in.
Yeah, you're looking for a happy blend.
Yeah.
A happy blend of the two, so that not one isn't superseding the other. I think that what you're seeing is a reaction because they feel threatened. Right? Like if you're a football journalist, say let's pretend you're Moxley, right? I think his first name is Neil. Let's
Doesn't
just pretend, okay? You're a little bit xenophobic. You're afraid of new information. Okay?
I write for the Mirror.
But people accept your opinions because you're a football journalist.
Yeah.
Now imagine I come along and I tell you that what you've just said is bollocks and here's the reasons that you are. I've studied 10 years worth of Premier League games and what you assert is rubbish. Your position's threatened.
I'm going to think, oh my God, this fella has basically come in and attempted to ruin my career because I've based his career on talking utter guff for a red top, and now this smart man with glasses and very nice Maradona shirt has came in and dropped some truth bombs on my ass, I guess, and like that's all it is. It's a fear of change. As you said, xenophobic, and he doesn't want to adapt. He just wants to keep going. He's obviously lazy, and he just wants to keep going in his little world of whatever he writes. I can't say I've met him before.
If you don't like football that way, if you don't like numbers in the game, that's totally cool.
Yeah,
I can see how it would bug people who just want it to be a sport. I don't care about average passes. I don't care about that or possession. Although almost everybody mentions it now as a thing when they think that they've won. Or that it's better to have more possession, even though it's not always. But if you don't like it, that's cool. But you should not just run down someone else's field just because of it. I'm not a 100% analytics guy. I like to mix of both. I love hearing about scouting stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they've also failed.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't see anybody getting rid of scouts.
No.
So
it's just so bizarre because I think if you're gonna obviously this is the perfect world scenario, but if you're gonna throw out an idea like statistics because Rodgers failed, who was obviously a very statistics heavy coach, and then not, as you say, throw out scouts. It's the logic isn't there. You know what I mean?
You do have players. I remember reading about. I think this one is in Soccernomics, not the numbers game. It's either Catola or it's Ozil. Goes in at halftime and is handed a Prozone sheet, so it's up to work with Prozone for stats, and he is basically shown his numbers from the half, so he can analyze his game before going back out. And you can immediately, even if you hate analytics, totally ridicule the idea, you can immediately see the benefit. Imagine if someone was able to show you a graph with all your misplaced passes.
Yeah.
Imagine if someone could show you who was intercepting the ball from you the most.
Yeah. Or show where you can or show even an offensive way, just show where the opposition is weak, where they're missing interceptions or something like this. How can that not be a good thing?
Your average position, how many key passes you made, where are they coming from?
Yeah.
Where should they be coming from?
It's just
it's infinitely useful, and no, I totally accept it hasn't been sorted and it hasn't been 100% validated in that it hasn't been worked out yet what you can and can't measure. They're still exploring new things. Almost every week you see a new stat that you can get. Like take-ons is one that I recently came across. It's kind of, I think it came in the last year or so that I've seen it, and it's like you try to attempt to take somebody on obviously, but you lose possession. It's really, really interesting because you can measure all this kind of stuff. You can tell a good dribbler then.
Yeah.
With take-ons. So anyway, rambling a little bit at this stage. But let us know in the comment section below what you think of analytics. Is it a load of guff? Are geeks in tracksuits tricking you? Or is there some value to be taken from it, but not necessarily totally? Follow us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at @the final_third. And thanks for watching.